Well, Trista Hall checked out the arm wrestling competition at the Brown County Fair in Georgetown, Ohio, and found out that arm wrestling might not be so simple after all. Take a look.
For hundreds of years, athletes have played many forms of sports. Some require equipment, and some are more simple. For nearly 30 years in Brown County, Ohio, arm wrestling has been a major sport, mainly because other sports just weren't possible.
Parents couldn't really afford to put us in sports, and when I become old enough, that was a big sport going, and that's something that I could put myself through.
So what does it take to become an arm wrestler?
Lifting weights and practicing arm wrestling probably a couple nights a week. And I had a group of people come to the house. When I was arm wrestling, sometimes there'd be as many as 15 or 20 people come out and work out and practice and stuff.
Now there's more than just strength and muscles to these arm wrestlers. In this competition, technique is everything.
It's 90% technique, 10% physical fitness.
Now the rules of the arm wrestling is you have to keep your elbow on the elbow pads at all times. If you lift them up off the fronts or sides, it's a foul. Any 2 fouls is a loss. You also have to keep your hand on the hand pegs at all times. If you take that off, that's a foul. Now, in order to pin your opponent, you got to touch his hand to the pin pad or bring him below the parallel of the pin pad. Ref starts you, he'll get you center of the table, and he'll hold on to you, and he'll say, ready, set, go, or ready, go, like that. And then you want to take off as quick as possible. So there's a lot of technique to it. There's the offense of the arm wrestling, the defense of the arm wrestling. Defense, you stop your opponent doing what he wants to do. Now, like if I'm a top roller, what you do is take your fingers, and as I'm coming up, you take and twist me back down so I can't do that. Now, some of these guys will do what I call cutting in. It's about like a guy at bench presses or something, and he'll come in and go this way.
I've always been sort of the arm wrestler that I pull my opponent how I feel him trying to pull me. You know, so I've always been the type of guy that if he's trying something on me, instead of me just going with my one thing, I'll counter against him, you know, so that's what's made me pretty successful in it.
So it took me several years to kind of figure the technique, but there's a lot of technique to the sport, and if you don't know what you're doing, you can be real strong and still not win.
Although losing is something an athlete never wants, in arm wrestling, it can be a huge asset.
By getting beat, you figure out why you got beat, you know.
To become a major world champion arm wrestler like Sam Cooper, strength and training is more than necessary. But learning the sport is the most important aspect in winning.
Yes! For the point, arm wrestling champion of the world, I'm Trista Hall.